Super Mario Bros. Movie. This is the highest grossing movie of the year so far, that surpasses their initial expectations, which is an achievement in itself, especially 30 years after the disastrous first film adaptation of the material. As we all know, somehow Super Mario produced an interesting situation when there is a significant gap between the user ratings and ratings of the professional critics. Even though the majority of movie critics from traditional media lives in a parallel world these days, I mean the world where Wakanda Forever is a good film and Ant-Man's daughter is the hero we need right now. So they're not entirely wrong when they are refusing to give Mario 5 out of 5 stars or something. It is a good cartoon, no more and no less. But it's kind of weird to pretend that this is a stellar, groundbreaking movie that is destined to save this peculiar world of film adaptations of video games. Obviously, the success of Super Mario will affect the adaptations that will follow. And yes, we'll hope that the studios will come to a conclusion that if you're not trying to defecate at your fan base at all costs, good things might happen to you. I mean, at least financially. So yes, Super Mario movie is gonna leave a serious impact, but let's not exaggerate things. Okay, this is the moment when I'm supposed to briefly tell you something about the plot of the film. But Super Mario Bros. Doesn't really have that, and it's kind of fine. Mario and Luigi are plumbers from New York. Somehow they got transported to the Mushroom Kingdom. Luigi is lost in the Luigi's Mansion, and then he ends up in captivity. Bowser wants to marry Princess Peach. Mario recruits help from Donkey Kong and his fellow apes, who drive go-karts and, well, stuff like that. And it is a computer-generated cartoon, so we don't have, like, people dressed as Mario or as Bowser. And there is no Yoshi. He's gonna be in the sequel. And the sequel is gonna happen, nothing can keep it from happening. What is important here is that all of this was produced by Illumination, a studio behind Despicable Me. Everything is done in collaboration with Nintendo, who can bankroll like 100 animated films if they really want to. So there is no Disney, and there are people in charge who actually care about the material, and these people want to make money. They take the art direction of the latest Mario games, they recreate it as a one big 90 minutes cutscene. They expect that Nintendo's audience, which consists mostly of men in their 30s and 40s, so they expect they will go to the theaters and they will bring their kids with them. They also don't want to ruin their experience with turning everything into a parade of transgender Muslim feminists saving African Americans from Putin and the LAPD. This is also some sort of an achievement in our day and age. Yes, Super Mario presents Princess Peach as a capable character, not just a damsel in distress. So they're kind of pushing for feminism and stuff like that, after all. But they are doing it more or less reasonably and gracefully. I mean, you can extract from the source material the idea that she can do stuff. She's a playable character in some of the recent games, so yeah, why not? She's not trying to overshadow Mario as the star of the show, although it is believed that the creative team behind the movie made certain steps in this direction, but Nintendo intervened. This is actually a very important thing about Super Mario. It is not the studio who is calling the shots. Nintendo was directly involved, and Shigeru Miyamoto, Super Mario creator and one of the biggest names in game design in history, well, Shigeru Miyamoto is a producer of the movie. 30 years after the first film adaptation of Mario, you know, this famous monstrosity with Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper, Nintendo didn't want to make the same mistakes. They have a creative vision which is consistent with the source material. They know their audience and they want to have a new and successful branch of their main franchise. Mario was big in the 90s, but now it is huge and it is legendary. And even if Nintendo doesn't control like 80% of the video game market as before, they actually have an insane amount of money, they are doing their thing, they have a loyal fan base, and this fan base is gigantic. Some people are unaware of the fact that Nintendo sold over 50 million copies of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and over 25 million copies of Super Mario Odyssey. It is more than, say, Elden Ring, and they are doing this as a platform owner. These games are exclusive to Nintendo platforms and they don't really have to share the money. Now they effectively created themselves a movie franchise as well, and there are rumors of not only the inevitable sequel, but also of a spin off about Donkey Kong, and possibly even Wario, voiced by Pedro Pascal. So, what have we learned from Super Mario Bros.? You can make money without insulting your audience. Luigi is the new damsel in distress. Filling the movie with dozens of Easter eggs and references is not a bad idea. If the visual style of your game is cartoonish, live action adaptation is not very logical. In the end, it is a nice and respectful high budget cutscene. You're gonna like it if you or your children have bed sheets with a Mario print on them. I must admit that I actually have this kind of bed sheets, but that's not the point. The point is, well, it is pretty easy to make a decent film adaptation of a video game if you're not an imbecile.